Azure AD and Azure AD B2C are probably the most popular and sophisticated identity management engines in the industry, and identity management is something that almost every system needs. However, not a lot of developers know how to use these engines and integrate them into their apps, and thus they miss a great opportunity to make their identity management robust, secure, fast, and reliable. In this course, we are going to finally learn how to do that and learn almost all there is to know about these powerful engines. We will begin from the very basics and discuss authentication protocols such as OAuth 2. We will then continue to some authentication concepts such as scopes, claims, and tokens. We will then start learning about Azure AD and go through its basic controls as well as advanced ones such as conditional access, MFA, and API authentication. After that, we will move to Azure AD B2C, the sibling service of Azure AD, and understand the differences between them. We will learn how to customize the user interface of the Azure AD B2C flow, how to integrate social identity providers, and how to implement custom policies, which are the most powerful mechanism for configuring authentication flow. However, we are going to do much more than looking at slides. This course puts a great focus on hands-on learning, and we are going to work a lot on Azure AD and Azure AD B2C, and of course, write some code. We are going to register our application in Azure AD so it can use its authentication capabilities and configure our code to use Azure AD for that. We will see how to use Azure AD with other platforms such as Windows apps, and we will customize the user interface of our flow. We will use conditional access to limit access only to authorized locations and create new user flows in Azure AD B2C to enable authentication using this mechanism. We will even add Google and Facebook as social identity providers to our authentication and use Azure functions to extend the logic of the authentication flow using API connectors. And of course, we will configure our own custom policy to implement capabilities that can't be achieved using other means. And note, you don't have to have prior knowledge of the cloud and Azure, and you don't have to have prior knowledge of Active Directory. You also don't have to be an expert developer, although some development knowledge is required. We will learn everything from the very basics to the most advanced topics. So, by the end of this course, you will know how to integrate Azure AD and Azure AD B2C into your app. You will know how to customize it to your needs. You will know how to implement advanced security controls. And most importantly, you will become a much better software architect and developer. This course is part of the acclaimed software architecture series of courses. This series attracted hundreds of thousands of students from more than 180 countries and gained amazing reviews. So, enroll now to this course and become an even better software developer and architect.